all been there. You want a decent amount of popcorn, but $7 feels like a ripoff. So if you chose small, you're like most people. We've set up cameras to see what will happen if we offer the same choice to real moviegoers.
Hey, some popcorn? Sure. You can get a small, sure, or a large for $7.
And I'll take the small.
What are the sizes?
You know what? I'll have a small one and some M&Ms.
Okay, sure.
They have no idea we're running an experiment, and nearly everyone goes for the small.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you, but we're doing a little experiment. Do you think $7 was a lot of money for popcorn?
Yeah, $7 was a little out of line for popcorn.
But now, we're going to see if we can influence your decision making. Here's another decision for you. You can get the small for $3, a medium for $6.50, or you can get the large for $7.
Irrational?
So, have you made your choice? Does the large look a bit more appealing now? We've made the same change at the movie theater. Step back to see what happens. Do you think more people will buy a large?
I'll take a medium size popcorn, please.
Sweetie, it's only 50 cents.
Okay, let's get a large.
I think I'll take a large, sure. Large,
Definitely.
a large. Okay.
All we did was add a medium, and the large has become irresistible.
Just a medium popcorn, please. You can get the large for 50 cents more.
Okay, that'll work.
Everyone is buying a large, so how do they explain?
The large looks like such a better value than the medium.
Such a large.
But the deal, you still spent more money in the net total of the night.
50 cents, dude.
Did she spend 50 cents more? How much more does she really spend? But what does she think she spent? Irrational? Was that an irrational? Do you think she thinks she's being irrational? She thinks she just made the most rational decision in the world. But we can predict her being irrational, and that's what that book's about. And there's so many different examples of it, which is why I want you to read it. Here's the thing. Raise your hand if you've gotten any to think about it. Raise your hand high. There's no way none of you ever had a person say, I need to think about it. Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. Okay, maybe I just didn't ask the question perfect. That's my fault. So we get that question a lot. The reason most people need to think about it is because your pricing makes sense. Now, when I say your pricing, keep in mind I haven't seen your pricing. I'm assuming you're not using the decoy effect because I have yet to meet a small business that has done this. There's marketing people do it. Bigger businesses, corporations do it because they invest in education, understand this. This is not new. This has been around for years and decades. People know about the decoy effect. It's also called something else. I can't remember what it is, but it's a phenomenon. But if you Google the decoy effect, it's asymmetrical, whatever, something like that. There's like a really cool word for it too. But your pricing makes too much sense. People need to think about it. You need it to not make sense. It needs to make no sense. That made no sense, the popcorn for $6.50 for medium, right? What would make sense? What would be a pricing for a medium that makes sense? $5. People would think about it, and people would pick the 3, people would pick the 5, people would pick the 7, and people would pick things all over the board. The reason businesses don't do that is because they're afraid that if only one looks appealing, then everybody that would have bought this one or this one won't buy now. In reality, that's not true. They're still going to buy. They're just going to buy the one that you want them to buy. And it's your job to make that look appealing. So I'm going to show you how that works. Really quick. This is another study. And I want you to pick the one that stands out to you the most. Okay, now I want you to be honest. Don't beat the system. Okay? Which one of you chose this person right here? Raise your hand high. Okay, which one of you chose that one? Which one of you is the most attractive, I should say? Which one do you find the most attractive? That one? Raise your hand high. That one? Raise your hand high. That one? That one. Okay. So, in a study done with thousands of people, this is done many times, different groups of people, thousands of people, men, women, children, more than 80% choose this one. Because what happens is they notice a similarity between these two, and they don't know what it is, but naturally the brain starts identifying what it is, but picks, now the decisions come down to these two. This one is the decoy. Now, if I had to say choose between these two, the results would be closer to 50-50. So here's an example of a typical pricing model that I see in fitness. Now, everyone's pricing is different. I'm literally just picking easy numbers, general numbers for you guys. This is actually an example of a customer we've tested this with. $99 a month if you do 1 class a week, $139 a month if you do 2 classes per week, or $159 a month for unlimited visits, okay? Pretty common, right? You guys have probably seen pricing similar to this, and as you can see, the pricing incrementally goes up, matching the value. Here's an example of it again, in a different way, contract stuff. $99 a month for a 12-month contract, $139 a month for a 6-month contract, or $159 a month if you just want to go month to month. Seems appropriately priced, right? It makes sense. Unfortunately, it's costing business. Because it makes so much sense, people need to think about it. Am I going to work out this much? Am I going to commit to it? Am I going to do once a week? Am I going to come twice a week? Am I going to come 3? Now they're like thinking about themselves and what they're going to do. They're going back into their past, and chances are if they're signing up for some new fitness thing, their past is that I don't commit to things. So let's use the decoy effect. Let me show you how it's worked. You guys see what I'm doing here? So raise your hand. What stands out as kind of the no-brainer?
$5 more, I get unlimited over 2 weeks, 2 visits a week.
Right. Why would you ever pick 2 visits a week? Ever. Not even close. And what happens is you might pick between these two, you think, as a business owner, but as a consumer, you're just really deciding here now. Your eyes are here. This one is the unattractive version of this one. So if this is the one you want to sell, you make that one beautiful. And the other ones exist for one purpose, to make it look more beautiful. That's it. It's the only reason they exist. I have my packaging set up that way. We signed up over 200 people. Only 2 people have bought the one I didn't want them to buy. Everyone has, we have a loud, louder, and loudest. I want to sell the loud. Everyone's bought the loud except for 2 people. And I was pissed and confused. I was like, they bought that one? Why? Whatever. So make the one you want to sell. So here it is in contracts. You guys see it? Significant drop. It's like 4 or 5 months free. Now that doesn't mean you have to dramatically drop this price, but it can mean you dramatically increase this. Now another thing you could do to make it even more appealing, well, just so you know, Leslie, this is also our VIP members. So they get hooked up pretty solid on top of the great pricing. They also get a free nutritional consult. They get a grocery list. They get stretching guide. They get a workout from hotel guide for when they travel. You could also use it at home. They get an awesome t-shirt. They get 2 free passes for friends. And they get VIP bottle service. Not Grey Goose. Every time you come and work out, we give you a free bottle of water so you don't have to bring your own. I mean, you could do whatever you want, right? This is an example of how to make this look even more beautiful. So we just took that girl and put earrings on her and lipstick and a bunch of cool things to make it a no-brainer. People don't need to think about a no-brainer. You need to think about something you need your brain for, right? Does that make sense? So in order for something to make a lot of sense for the customer, it has to make no sense. This doesn't make a lot of sense. That one there makes no sense. And that's why they'll choose it. Does that make sense? A lot of sense. Just so you know, too, you don't have to just do this with your pricing for membership. You do it everywhere. So check out this bottle of water. This is a pretty cool looking bottle of water, right? Like, how much would you guys say the average person would think this bottle should cost? $4, right? Let's say we're getting, in reality, you can get this bottle wholesale for probably like less than $1 or $1, okay? So let's say you decide to sell it for $2.50. Now, by the way, when you sell your waters, don't do what a lot of people do. I don't know how you guys do it, but don't just keep it like in a cooler or in a designated area. Put those babies in a nice tin cooler with ice and stack them right there in 1 or 2 different places where everyone works out. Let the condensation drip down. I'm serious, guys. Sell the waters. It makes a big difference. We just did a whole episode on this, okay? Sell freaking waters, man. You can add $5K of profit just by that. Don't believe me? Do the math. You'll do it. Trust me. Trust me. So you put these in cool tins. Now what you do is, If you just put this water for $2.50 and you put another drink with it, let's say it's a sports drink, whatever it is, a coconut thing or electrolyte, whatever, has a little flavor to it, you're not going to sell as many. You want to sell double or triple that? You know those stupid little worthless bottles of Arrowhead water? You don't know who came up with an idea to put them in a shot glass sized bottle of water? Have you seen those things? Yes? Okay. You throw those in there. $2.50, $2.50, $2.25. I'm telling you, people just buy big bottles of water all day long now. Why? Why do they buy the big ones?
The little one doesn't make sense.
It makes no damn sense. You will never sell these little things. Never. It's a one-time purchase. These Arrowhead bottles are a one-time purchase. You're going to need to stock up on these, okay? So definitely sell waters, guys. Man, there's so many ways to sell to people that are already buying. And we did a whole episode of the GSD Show in the last episode, the most recent one, on how you can add more revenue without increasing membership and getting more money per member. I know my time's run, guys, but here, hold on, we're going to make it through. Marketing, advertising, and sales. Guys, what I want to let you guys know, we talked about this earlier, people spend so much time on getting better at what they do in regards to the service. And a study was just done. I just did a great interview with Jay Baer. He's known as the customer service sensei. And he said that 80% of small businesses would survey themselves as giving superior customer service. And 8% of their customers would agree. Every business thinks their baby's beautiful. But in reality, what was great yesterday is mediocre today. Today, people are giving some pretty good service, and you're not just comparing yourselves to the guy down the street. You're comparing yourselves to their experience at the Hilton. You're comparing yourselves to their experience at the Hyatt, to their experience at a movie theater, to their experience at a car dealership. People are starting to realize what customer service really means to them. So who cares if your competitor sucks? You need to be better. You need to learn from the best of the best of the best. Disney, right? Nordstrom, what do they do? The best CEOs, raise your hands if you are the CEO at your location. The best CEOs study this stuff. They're great at it. Think about the best. Henry Ford, yes, he knew his stuff within it, but this guy didn't even graduate high school. And he had people wanting to work for him in an age where education was very, very important. He knew how to market himself and his business. Steve Jobs, we all know he wasn't the brains and the circuit breakers and all that stuff, right? He had the vision. He knew how to market himself. He knew how to get on that stage. He knew how to deliver a message and create a story and get it out there in a way that's attractive. Bill Gates said, if I have $2 left to my name, if I lose it all and have $2 left, I'm spending $1 on PR. Mark Zuckerberg, if you watch his earlier interviews, he was a wreck. He just was not articulate. You look at him now, and he's worked on his game. He understood how important it was as a CEO, as the head of the face of the franchise, for him to really be articulate and be able to tell a story and market. Richard Branson, Virgin Airlines and records and all this stuff. This guy is all over the place. This guy, what a great storyteller, but he understands marketing. He understands sales. Raise your hand if you've watched at least one episode of Shark Tank. Raise your hand high if you agree. They all seem to have a good sense on marketing and sales. Raise your hand if you would love to have any of them head your marketing team. Raise your hand if you would love to have any of them sell people for you. They're great at that. They study it. Marcus Lemonis, The Prophet. Raise your hand if you've watched The Prophet or The Partner. That's one big marketing sales pitch the entire time. It's all he does. He's amazing at it. Elon Musk. You heard of Tesla. You heard of Solar City. This is the guy. He knows you listen when he speaks. He's really good at it. Speaking of Tesla, does anybody know who this is? It's Nikola Tesla. This guy invented 10 inventions that changed the world you live in today. Your world exists the way it does to you because of this guy in 10 different ways. By the way, that's the article as to where you can see those 10 inventions. Yet nobody knows who he is. And in fact, he died broke. He was always broke. He wasn't a good businessman. Man, did he know inventions. Man, did he know what he did. but he didn't understand marketing, he didn't understand sales, he didn't understand business. He wasn't like those other guys. He never invested in that part of his game. And he was never successful because of it. Now, depending on how you determine success, right? But as far as having a life where he can let go, spend time with his family, not have to look at the right side of the menu all the time first, you know what I mean by that? That wasn't his life. Understand how important it is to your business, your employees, your families to really study and get great at this part of your game. Never again will you hit that wall. Never again will I hit that wall if you guys get that down. You guys said it yourself earlier. You would easily have any of those Shark Tank guys manage your marketing team. You would easily have any of those Shark Tank guys manage your sales team. So that means that business can be better if you get better at business, right? Because those guys, everyone I showed you, doesn't own a business like you own, correct? None of those guys probably do what you do and know what you know on the fitness side and health side, correct? But they know what? Business and marketing and sales. And that's why you would love to have them come in and transform your stuff for a month. Be them. Be the transformation on that side. Sound good? Raise your hand if that makes sense. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys listening. Hopefully you got value out of today. Thank you.